I love doing that. It's actually fun. Oh! I've never seen such skills. That's a clean tackle.
That's that 90 defending. Oh man.
I'll get it back. I'll get it back. I'll get it back. We'll get it back. Ooh, man, we're all over them. Nice. You just bodied that little boy.
Little body him, yeah. I got like hella balance on this guy. It's kind of stocky.
They'll choke. They'll choke. Oh, I'm here. Dang it.
It's a Griezmann. Of course, they're gonna choke.
Oh, you're so scary.
Marcel.
Just keep it
All the way.
going.
Okay, bring it. Bring it. Yeah,
I moved him.
he didn't know what to do.
Free goal.
Hey everyone, this is Lesky here, back to another FIFA 21 Pro Clubs player build for you guys today. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys my very first CDM build that I have posted on this channel. I am a really big fan of the CDM build. It is definitely not the best at like dribbling, shooting, anything really attacking wise. You're definitely going to want to go with more of a center mid build. But CDM wise, if you want to play straight out defense and lock down your opponent and just be that annoying player that chops all your opponents down, cuts all the passes out in the middle of the field, just be that really annoying, almost like extra fifth center back on your team, this is the build to do it. Definitely a CDM build because they have a crazy physical and crazy defending, especially, and really solid passing base stats. So that's the intro for this video, guys. Let me just go straight to the athletic page and show you guys what I have listed for this build. Alright guys, so over here on the athletic page, I am listed as 5'10", 174 pounds. This is the final height and weight that I got to when I was testing out multiple CDM builds. I found out this is the best one just because as a CDM you don't have the best pace, acceleration, or sprint speed, so you're gonna want to make it a little bit shorter. I tried doing like a 6'2", 6 foot. It just wasn't working out the greatest. The 6 foot wasn't that bad, but ever since I switched it to 5'10", because you can still win those headers in the air, win those 50-50 challenges with the 5'10" build with your crazy jumping and crazy physical. And 174, you're a little stocky, so you have some weight on you. You can actually push some people around. But yeah, this is what I have, 5'10", 174. So now let's go straight to the skill tree, and I can show you guys what I have for this playstyle. Alright, and just one more thing before we get to the playstyle. As you guys can see, I am listed as a CDM, and I'm 89 overall on this little screen right here, this little box. It might be different once y'all get all the exact same skill points on and the same exact skill tree as me. The rating might not be the exact same because as you guys can see, if you go over here towards the statistics on the bottom left, I have 457 matches played, and 64% of those matches have been as a midfielder. So I played a lot of games, and a lot as a striker and a lot as a midfielder. So a lot of my stats after the game have gone up because I played so many games. It just, your stats will naturally go up because if you play a ton of games, those little stats that you can't even control, you can't even increase or decrease, like let's see, reactions, like those will naturally just go up after every game passively. Defensive awareness, and it's just the way you get that up and the way you get your rating even higher in pro clubs is just playing games. The more games, the higher your rating will be eventually. So that's why I have pretty high ratings on all my player builds, because I played a ton of games. So if you played less games than me, you probably won't have this as high of overall, but if you played more, then you might actually have a higher overall than me. So it's just a little different, and don't get too worried if it's not the same exact overall. Alright guys, so as you guys can see, I'm listed as 5'10", 174 pounds as previously stated. CDM, and I like to name this build the Guardian build, just because how defensive it is, and I'm a real big fan of it. So let's go straight to the physical. And of course, on this right side, like every other build, I have all the way down to the second wind. Even more important as a midfielder, you're definitely going to want the second wind. And then on this left side, this is why I have it to the third strength and the second jumping, because as you guys can see, it only costs one skill point for 2 extra jumping, very clutch. and then 1 extra skill point for 2 extra strength. So it's a very good bang for your buck. I would highly recommend that. Alright, so going over to defending now, guys. As you guys can see, I have some insane defending stats. Pretty much everything's over 90 except for the thing that you can't control, which is defensive awareness, which again will go up passively after every game. It won't go up after every game, but occasionally after like every other game or something, it'll most likely go. You'll see the defensive awareness bar go up, and then once it hits 100%, it obviously can't go up anymore. But mine is still at 27%, and I've almost played 500 games, so it does take a while to get that fully max rating and have every single bar at 100%. But defending wise, guys, I'm gonna be showing you guys some clips as I'm talking about the defending on this build. The defending on this build is amazing. So what I did, I wanted to get really high defending just to see how it felt. It actually made a huge difference compared to like 80s. So I went 91 interceptions, 90 stand tackling, and 90 slide tackling. Nice and round. Like you could take this off and go 89 interceptions, 89 stand tackling, but this just looks better. 90 stand tackling, 91 interceptions. Honestly, it's hard to get beat one-on-one unless somebody just straight up burns you with pace. They have like 90-something pace, which is rare. You can slide them if they're trying to get past you. You'll have insane slides. Your legs will sweep them. You'll steal the ball, and it's just dirty. They're helpless. They can't do anything about it. And then the interceptions are really good. You can just feel yourself like lock onto the ball, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna steal this ball 100%. You can just feel your guy lock onto it. So those 91 interceptions are clutch, and I'm really a fan of just these high defensive stats, and that's also what gets the CDM rating up quite a bit, because we increase the defending, which is highly weighted on the CDM rating scale, if that makes sense. So that's it for the defending and physical, which is probably the 2 most important for a CDM. And now we're going to go to the dribbling. And as you guys can see over here on the dribbling, this is actually my very first build without 5-star skills. Since this is solely defensive for the most part, and a little bit attacking, but not really, mostly just a defensive lockdown player build in the midfield, I decided not to do 5-star skills and just went with the 4-star skills, which I would recommend as well, because you're not going to be wanting to do crazy dribbles with this build. As you guys can see, like the CDMs don't have the best dribbling, but because I made it 5'10", 174, you actually get 80 agility, 87 balance, which is actually really solid for CDM. They're both over 80, which is really good. The 87 balance is clutch. You have a low center of gravity, and you're able to like turn, body people, and make really good passes and get crazy passes off just because of like your really good balance and just like the body shape of the build. And then 87 ball control and 82 dribbling. So definitely not the greatest dribbling, but I added the 4-star skills just to do a little bit of some skills just to get out of some sticky situations. Could be very clutch. And then lastly, we have the flare trait, which I like on all my builds, especially midfielders, so you can make fancy first touches and fancy passes. I'm a big fan of the flare trait. And now going over to the passing, another big stat that weighs heavily on the CDM rating. And we went with all the way down to the swerve pass, which costs quite a bit of skill points. But I really like the swerve pass and just holding Y down or RB Y down as hard as you can to play a ground through ball to your teammate with the swerve pass onto it, and already a really high passing rating is crazy how good the passes can be with this build. I'm a big fan of the passing in this build, and I would definitely recommend going all the way down to the swerve pass. All right, over to the shooting. Again, guys, like I said, this build is pretty much only just solely defensive. That's why it's called the Guardian. So I literally don't have any shooting. This is my first build ever on my channel that doesn't have anything listed on the shooting. I don't even have a weak foot because I didn't want to waste skill moves or skill points, and I wanted to like put it on defense, physical, pace, passing, and get a really well-rounded CDM, but except for the shooting pretty much. I leave that up to my 2 strikers, and I'm the one just getting the assist for the most part. So yeah, you only have a 3-star weak foot. You have to keep that in mind, but it's not that big of a deal. Since your shooting's already trash, you're not going to be shooting too much. And honestly, the times that I did shoot with this build, I finished pretty much all my chances. I'm so surprised because I have 70 finishing, but it went in. So I'll go with it. If it goes in, it's not a big deal. But if they started not to go in, or was unable to finish my chances, I would have like increased the shooting up a bit. But other than that, since you're going to be playing so defensive with this build, there's really no point of adding any shooting. Just go with all the other skill points on everything else that's more important rather than shooting. Lastly, the last section is pace. So for this build, I had lower pace originally, and I was testing out different heights, like I said, 6 foot, 6'2", I think all at 174, because I found what's kind of weird, if you're at 174 pounds as a CDM, you will that's the fastest weight possible for a CDM, no matter what height, I'm pretty sure. Like 5'10", 6 foot, 6'2", 174 pounds will be the fastest weight possible for you, which is why I went with 174, 5'10", and you actually get 82 acceleration, 86 sprint speed. You could even bump it up to 88, but like that 86 sprint speed really helps you chop down like the fast players. It's very good. Usually I like a higher acceleration, but as like a midfielder, CDM, honestly, a higher sprint speed might be better just because all the small people are so fast. So you can actually chop them down, body them, push them off the ball, and then steal it. It's very, very good because you're actually very pacey on this build. And it'll catch a lot of people by surprise just because how fast your guy is and how good at defending he is. And then just also how strong, and then the passing is just crazy. And then obviously the one downside is the shooting. But again, this is solely focused on defending. But yeah, guys, this is my CDM build. Stay tuned for the rest of the video to see the rest of the clips of this CDM build. Don't forget to like on this video if you like this build. And if you use it, let me know how it works for you in the comments. I would really appreciate that. And also let me know in the comments if you want to see any more builds on my channel and what position you would like to see. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and y'all have a great day. Peace out.
You know, Brad, it's so hard to get through.
Well, they've given him too much space.
Oh.
Oh, big opportunity.
Go. Never mind.
Bouldered through, bro.
That was glitchy too.
Oh my gosh.
Go to the keeper or something.
The referee has decided that 2 additional minutes are in order. It needs an accurate cross.
Come on. The middle looks very open.
Oh my gosh. Mine. I'm a freaking monster.
Come full time. This ought to be a thriller, Lee.
Well, avoid defeat today.
Yeah, that's kind of a bad pass.
With that in mind, you do feel
Why would it? Okay, chip.
Yes.
Yeah. Casey like this. Oh.
He's given us away.
Sorry.
Double bitch.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Foul.
Promising looking attack, but comes to nothing in the end.
Foul.